You're watching the Total TV Network.
I see you're wearing black today. Reminiscent of the 9th grade. Remember your punk stage? Chains and leather?
No,
I like that.
I don't remember that at all, actually. I was working for the CIA.
Actually, you look more like Johnny Cash, the man in black.
I walk the line. Well, what about you? What about you and all your other weird little friends with your poofy hair and your poofy clothes? You look like a bunch of blonde little Genghis Khans running around trying to conquer social
opposite
Mongolia.
Sides of the social spectrum.
Was
You
that what
on
it
your
was?
side of the cafeteria, rebel without a clue.
Right.
And me with the popular crowd. You're just jealous. I'm Polly Butler.
And I'm Jeremy Schwartz.
Welcome to Fast Forward. Today we're going to be talking about the Rejection Connection.
Yeah, it's kooky almost, you know, but sometimes I've noticed people try so hard to be accepted that it's insane.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they'll even wear certain clothes to fit in. You know, the chains, leather, black, that sort of thing. They're so desperate to fit in. They will do anything, even when they think they're being loners.
You can't ever just leave me alone, can you?
You feel like you're just not wanted. Nobody wants you.
Feels like no one likes you. Because they have their friends, they don't pay any attention to you.
It makes you feel really bad about yourself.
It just feels like you aren't worth anything anymore and nobody wants anything to do with you.
You just want to sit there and cry forever. I mean, by yourself. If you're by yourself, then you want to cry. But if you're with people, you just sit there and like wish you could seep into the woodwork.
I've been there before. You feel all alone and you be watching everybody chill.
Well, it makes you feel bad and it makes you want to change and be like other people. You feel like you're almost like it's a bubble and they're on the inside and you're on the outside and it's like you want to open the window and go in, but you can't.
Exactly, feeling like a total outsider, like nobody wants you, nobody likes you.
It started when I moved down to a new home in Texas, and I felt so alone and so abandoned, and I wanted some friends so bad, and I wanted to be accepted. I was just this little grain of sand in this huge beach that I just didn't know what to do, you know? I didn't know where I belonged. And I kind of became a chameleon, you might call, and I'd do whatever belonged. I started out with the band kids, and so I tried to fit in with them, and they all rejected me. Then I tried the drill team. I couldn't dance very well. If I was around the cheerleaders, I'd tell a big lie and tell them I used to be in cheerleading and stuff, just so I could fit in. It just seemed like the people that were off in their own little corner and doing their own thing, the rebels and stuff, people that were doing drugs. It just seemed like, they didn't care about anything. They didn't care who hung around them and stuff. I was real scared, but I thought, well, if drugs was what it was going to take to fit in, then I was just going to go ahead and do it, What the heck, what was it going to hurt, and all that kind of stuff. And so I started doing drugs and drinking and sneaking out. They didn't care. I mean, they didn't care at all about me. I thought that I'd found my true friends and everything. They didn't care at all. And I don't know why I ever thought they did. I don't know why I ever thought that they were such true friends, because they weren't. They were never there for me. I think that is the point when I realized I really didn't have any friends. I mean, I was totally all alone.
Jeremy, I think a lot of people feel like Jody does. You know, this kind of abandoned, empty feeling.
Yeah, it's like when I was in 8th grade, you know, I was the new kid on the block. I was at a new school and everything, and I felt like an outsider.
Well, it's like she said, you know, you're like a grain of sand. You just don't know what to do.
Yeah, see, for me, it was all the little things, you know. It was like being in the cafeteria, and I had the tray of that disgusting-looking food product, and I was trying to find a place to sit, and everyone had their own little cliques. Everyone was all just very happy where they were, you know, in their own little worlds, and I did not fit into that.
Yeah, but you know, Jeremy, there are some people who will never plug in. I mean, they're just always in the fringe, you know, for some reason.
Well, you know, it can make you feel rejected.
Well, and yeah, definitely. And all you wanted, I mean, think about how happy you would have felt if someone had just said, hey, come eat with us. I mean, you would have felt much more accepted.
It's going to be really hard for me to make new friends there because I don't know what kind of people to hang around with, and, you know, it's going to be really hard for me. I'm a real shy person.
I'm afraid when I walk into a group that they won't like me, you know, they just want me to get out of there.
It's because I feel that with girls, that they're looking at me and it's like, oh, he's ugly. You know, I just feel so self-conscious about myself.
You know, like when you go to a new school, you don't know anybody, and you're like, well, what if nobody likes me and stuff? And that group always seems to have friends around no matter where they go, and you just want to be like that.
You don't really belong, so you don't know what you should be doing so that they'll, you know, think that you're worth talking to, and so you're like real self-conscious about what you should be doing.
I feel out of place at school most of the time because just everybody's already got their friends set up and everything, and their specific little groups, and it's hard to just find people that'll be friends with you.
I really think that they feel rejected because they're just not very confident in themselves.
Or perhaps it's because they're looking for friends in all the wrong places.
Good answer. Off key, but good answer.
Thank you very much. No, it's true though. I think it has a lot to do with they don't know where to look, so they start, you know, hanging out with the wrong crowd or something like that.
Some people don't know how to make friends. I mean, think about it. Your parents ever sit you down and say, son, this is how you make friends? No, they didn't.
Well, they did sit me down and they had that little chat about the birds and the bees.
No, Jeremy, let's stay on track.
I like that talk. Well, no, it's true though. But see, the whole thing is we're on our own because we are living in a cold, cruel world.
Hey, did you ever do anything just to get in a group?
Oh yeah, constantly.
As a Christian, though, sometimes I find myself doing things that I know a Christian shouldn't do, and I have to go and ask the Lord for forgiveness.
Do something like totally wild or crazy to kind of, you know, get them wanting to hang with you. It's a terrible feeling.
When you're around that group of people, you tend to laugh when you usually wouldn't laugh, you know, just to look like everybody else.
I've gone places in the past like where I wasn't supposed to be, and on the inside, you know, I knew it was wrong, but I did it just to, you know, fit in with the crowd, you know.
I started drinking just to fit in, and then after that it was just because I didn't want anyone to think I wasn't cool. I didn't have very many friends. I was really shy. I got to the point where I was just numb. I wasn't feeling anything inside, so I wanted to feel something outside. I always felt like an outsider. I just figured I was going to stay drunk until eventually something would happen. I didn't know what that something was, but as long as I didn't have to feel, I figured I'd be okay. As long as I stayed drunk, then I wouldn't have to worry about anything.
You know, I think if you got to drink and you got to do drugs just to be popular, then you're sinking pretty low, and that's it.
But I think there's a difference between being popular and well-liked. I mean, you can be popular, but you're not necessarily, you know, accepted and well-liked.
Oh, I don't get it. Explain.
Well, you know, it's like that actress in Hollywood. You know, the one that's kind of causing all that trouble.
Right.
I mean, she's, you know, she's famous, but she's not necessarily well-liked.
Okay, are you talking?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
one,
Yeah, she is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But see, it's like everybody's like that nowadays, it seems. Everybody is these imitations of these fake humans. It's like an invasion from Mars, you know, all those aliens that came down and they had like those belly buttons on the back of their head, and that's what you knew.
No. Now's the time to bring in our expert, Bill Myers. I know he's real. We had him checked.
Thanks, guys. Now, it's true I'm not from Mars, but I do work in Hollywood, which does pass for a foreign planet. You know, it's an entire city based upon facades and make-believe. It's also the capital city of rejection. Now, we've heard several teenagers say that what they really wanted was acceptance, you know, to fit in. But they simply don't know how to make friends, and so they wind up feeling rejected. Okay, here's a secret. Are you ready? The best way to have a good friend is to be a good friend. How's my hair? Okay, so you want to be accepted? Then make sure you accept others first. Try not to be too judgmental. Instead, look for the good qualities in others. You want to be a friend? Somebody you can be real with? Then be honest and sincere. Do you want a true blue friend? Then like a person for who they are, not because they're a football player or a cheerleader. Don't be a phony. Look around. You're not alone. There are lots of people who are looking for friendships. It's simply a matter of treating others the way you want to be treated.
You've got to try to be the one that accepts people. You can't just expect everybody that they're gonna, bring you into their house or whatever. You've got to accept them first.
It's not so much the person having to accept you, it's you accepting them too. I mean, it's a mutual thing.
I went to a new school this year, and I knew like 3 people. And so I didn't really know how to be, but you just have to be friendly and not go in.
Eventually, I found out that they were just waiting for me to open up to them.
Remember I said you're not alone? No matter how good looking or athletic or smart you think others are, they have things about themselves they don't like. We all have things about ourselves we don't like. Which brings me to the second cause for feeling rejection. When you don't feel good about yourself. So when you're looking for a friend, focus on your strengths. Focus on something you do well or the stuff you like to do. If you like to fish or play ball or write or do computer programs or surfing or biking, you get the point. You find a group that enjoys the stuff you do or someone else who enjoys it and you share their interests. And this will help you overcome the third cause for feeling rejected, when you don't know where to look for friends. Now, look, I know it's not easy, but a good way to find a friend is to know what you like and then mingle with the people that share your ideas. So choose friends that will have a positive influence on you. And remember, other people are looking for friends too. You're not alone.
I moved here a year ago in June, and I started out the summer, I didn't know anybody, and then I started going to church, and I met all these people, and those are my friends.
I like to hang around people that have the same interest in, I'm a Christian, so I like to hang around Christian people. I play a lot of sports, so I like to hang out with people I play sports with, and also just people I have fun with. If you can't be yourself around other people, then you shouldn't be around those people. Making the friends, having the same morals, and wanting to do the same things. It's hard to find a good friend these days. It's real hard, but they're out there.
Please hang up and try again.
Matt's right. Finding friends can be hard, but they're out there. And there will be times, even when you're trying your hardest, that you're still going to feel rejected. Now, when that happens, well, keep in mind that you're not some sort of pimple on the face of humanity. Maybe a minor blackhead, but definitely not a pimple. You're loved by God. Do you know what that means? It means He knows you through and through. It means He not only accepts you, He kind of likes you. And just like you want to hang around your friends, God wants to hang around you.
I'm beginning to think that these kids are right, though. Maybe, just maybe, if we got everyone together and channel all of our positive energy and we got our spirits in sync, we jumped on the karma train, man, there'd be peace,
Jeremy, in your weak attempt at humor, you actually have a pretty good idea. I mean...
Do I?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about meeting new people and forming genuine friendships.
I agree.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids just feel... I don't know, depressed, and it's depressing, and I don't want you to think that I'm throwing the word around or anything like that, but you can really feel alone and rejected, and it's sad. It's just sad.
Maybe that's why the teen suicide rate has skyrocketed.
I felt totally empty inside. I had friends. I have lots of friends at school because I put on a mask. I had no problem, acting happy, but I would come home from school and I'd cry. My mom wouldn't be home, my dad wouldn't be home, none of my sisters would be home, my brother wouldn't be home. I'd be alone, and that's how I felt, alone. Even in a crowd, I'd feel alone. Even when people talking to me, I felt alone. And like if I wasn't pretty enough, or if I wasn't special enough, if I couldn't do this or do that. I came home from school, I walked in, I looked around, I saw nobody home. It was the day that I felt the most loneliest. I thought I was just gonna break down and cry, and every minute I would pace around the house hoping for someone to come home. I walked into the bathroom, I took a bath. While I was in the bath, I picked up a razor and I just sliced my arm.
Even the most together people are sometimes gripped by depression. And like Shauna, they've put on a mask. Even the Bible shows people struggling with feelings of being alone and cut off. Check this out from the book of Psalms. My soul is full of trouble, and my life draws near the grave. I'm counted among those who go down into the pit. I'm like a man without strength. You have taken from me my closest friends and have made me repulsive to them. I am confined and cannot escape. My eyes are dim with grief. This guy is not having the best of days.
I felt very tired being depressed, and going all the way through high school, I just thought that was really kind of who I was this just kind of tired, quiet, mellow person. I felt very sluggish. I felt like I had no energy. Sometimes I got annoyed in my depression at people that seemed to be happy. I always thought, man, they don't have a clue about what life is about. They don't have a clue that that life is not some joyful, happy thing. I was aware that I wasn't happy, but I thought that's basically the way that life is, and if you're a happy person, you're just a dope. Near the end of a semester, I would just break down and cry. I said, I can't handle this anymore. I can't handle school. I hated school because there are a lot of fearful things that happen at school. And you feel overwhelmed by all these things that are happening to you in that environment. I thought of death and a lot, and getting out of it all. And the thing that kept me out, the thing that was similar to suicide for me, was sleeping all the time. That was an escape from life. After a certain point of living a certain way, something fell out of whack. Something felt like, okay, life isn't supposed to be this way.
You know, Jeff's right. Life isn't supposed to be that way. If you feel overwhelmed and like there's no way out, here's a little hands-on advice. Number one, check the physical. You know, get a checkup from a doctor. Find out if there's a problem, because lots of people are depressed from chemical imbalances, and that can be easily corrected. Along with the physical causes, check your diet. It really is true. A lot of times what you eat has an effect on what you feel. And what about sleep? Try getting some. But by far the number one reason for depression? Unrealistic expectations. See, our expectations of life or of ourselves can be so impossibly high that we end up feeling isolated, defeated, and most of all, depressed.
When I'm expecting things and it doesn't turn out the way I expected it to, and to me it's like a failure.
I mean, I know you should like yourself for how you are, but sometimes you can't help yourself because these people are so pretty, you know, they're so skinny and they have all the friends.
What gets me depressed sometimes is whenever I don't follow through with some of my friends' expectations, or maybe my family's, you know, I let them down.
I think about the things that I could have done to help my team. You tend to blame it all on yourself.
And you're trying and you just can't seem to get up there. And everybody in your class is doing better than you. Your parents are mad at you because you're not high enough. And you just can't cope with the pressure of trying to get those high grades, and you just want to get out of it or whatever.
out in California, there's a real thing with being skinny. But I thought I was fat, and, you know, younger guys are cruel at that age, you know. Whether you're skinny or not, they're gonna, you know, they'll find something. And I've always found something wrong with myself. I had friends, but I knew they weren't really my friends. You know, they'll stab you in the back in a second. So I just felt like I wasn't good enough for anybody. I think I was watching TV one day and I found out what bulimia was and just, I don't know, decided to do that. I could come home, order a pizza, eat it, and, you know, go in the bathroom and do my little thing. And for 2 years, I didn't know anything about it.
You know, when you watch TV or go to the movies and you see the star, the hero, heroes just aren't failures. They're not fat, they're not weak, and most importantly, they're not average. And unfortunately, you and I are the heroes in our own movies. And well, nothing's going to depress us faster than feeling that we should be or that we should do things that aren't possible. So, if you're constantly getting depressed because you expect too much of yourself, here are a couple pointers to keep in mind. First, don't worry about being the best. And whatever you're doing, just be the best you can be. You'll be a fulfilled person by becoming everything God intends you to be. No more and no less. Number 2, give yourself a break. If you should happen to make a mistake, oh, wait a minute. Guys, can we back up that? Okay. When you make a mistake, you got to realize it's part of life. It's all part of growing up. Now, granted, sometimes the mistakes carry heavier consequences than others. But the question is, how long are you going to keep torturing yourself? Because maybe, just maybe, you're being a little bit unfair. Maybe you need to get past the mistake and get on with life. So when you slip up, yes, you know, ask for forgiveness. Then figure out what you did wrong and press on, making sure you won't do it again. And finally, be true to yourself. I mean, from time to time, stop and ask yourself, am I doing this because it's what's right? Or am I doing it because it's what my friends tell me will make me happy? All this to say, if you are going through troubled times, if you're unhappy, having thoughts of rejection, even thoughts of escape or suicide, it's simply your heart crying out for help. Talk to somebody. Talk to a friend or a teacher or a pastor or a counselor or your parents, but you have to talk to somebody. And remember, the old saying's true. Jesus Christ really is your best friend. Now, granted, God may not take you out of every situation, but He will give you the strength to get through them.
I found a new church. Someone introduced me to a new church and explained to me that there's someone who is more wonderful than any other friend could be, and that would be Jesus Christ. And once I accepted Him in my heart and in my life, that there would never be anything I couldn't face, and I would never have to face anything alone again.
I definitely sense the love my parents have. My parents went through so much with me, and they still, through everything, it's amazing.
I said, Mom, I need some help. And I would like to go to a counselor.
But without God, you can't go through stuff like that.
Somebody needs to be a survivor from it, you know, and tell how God helped them through it all, and, you know, because I know He was. I mean, I just feel it in my heart.
Jeremy?
Yes?
For all the trouble you give me, and you give me plenty of trouble, we still make pretty good friends, I think.
That's true, we do, although we did try dating.
Ooh, hated it.
Didn't work, got
Terrible.
a refund.
Oh.
Woof, bad.
Oh, nightmares.
Eek.
But I think we make pretty good friends.
I agree.
I mean, you know, we live a block from each other. That's fairly convenient.
Yeah.
We both, you know, we're in theater. We like movies. We like seafood.
We both like meat.
Say goodbye, Jeremy.
Osmosis amoebas, mi Winnebago.
Goodbye.
I have absolutely no idea what my dialogue is.
I know, what horrible.
I know one thing is certain.
Shut up.
sorry. I can't work like this.
Okay.
Enjoy the buffet. Dancing till 2. You can make a lot of money with this, boys. I've been told that.
Talk to each other like you normally would on this thing.
You're dumb. Blue skies. Polly's touching me. Ow! Love you.
Group hug, everybody.
Good. I'll be in my trailer.